I'm up the top of my lane at the end of my valley here. The water was very rough out here this morning, but they still sent the boats. The first boat came in about 7 a.m. It hit the rocks underneath the lighthouse. I was watching from above the hot springs, my normal place I go up to watch. When it hit the rocks, everyone was falling out of it into the water, onto the rocks and everything else. The second boat that came in this morning, it came in the same place, but it hit the rocks very hard. I mean, the water was really rough. The water was splashing all up on the rocks anyway. And the front end of the people in the front end of the boat all got thrown out. And the boat shot backwards about 20 metres. And then he started up the engine and went in for it again. And then the boat just went upside down. There was people everywhere. But I'm looking at this from quite a distance with my binoculars. The guys from the first boat all rushed and they were helping all the people out of the water and everything. Anyway, there's another 3 boats that was coming across. One was just over the halfway in the invisible line between Greece and Turkey. I would have said he was over into the Greek side, and the other 2 were still in the Turkish side. These are the boats I'm more concerned about, because generally these 3 boats that come from this particular area is the Syrian families. And the other 2 boats are coming from the other area that was further down. They're normally Afghanistan men and stuff, and you do get women, Afghanistan women and children amongst those boats, but it's mainly men. So my main concern, because of the seas and everything else, was these 3 coming into my area, into Eftelu, where I live. The first boat, it came in and it got onto a beach we call Chapora Beach, Sea Bream Beach, and they seemed got in quite well, you know. That was the 3rd boat. The 4th boat, he as he come across roughly the invisible line, I could see with my binoculars the front of the boat was in the air and the back of the boat was in the air. And I was very concerned about this boat, because obviously something was happening really bad there. This boat went beyond the lighthouse. Even now, I don't know what happened to the 4th boat. It just went beyond my view, because the wind was so high, it was pushing them down the bay. And whether they came in around the corner, I really don't know. And I just, you know, there's so many people wandering around everywhere. I haven't had any stories about this 4th boat. Anyway, the 5th boat, I was watching, and this one, normally the 5th boat is the one with all the women and children, and you know, because they put up the first 2 boats, there are women and children, but always the last boat for some reason is the one that has all the women and children. And this is the one me and Philippa normally go and try and help if we're really inundated. This is the one we head for. Anyway, I was watching it. It was on the Turkish side. It was out about 1.5 kilometres. I would have said 2 kilometres. I'm looking over 6.5 kilometres here. You know, you can see the sun reflecting off the side of the boat, and you could see the coloured jackets. I know it's a boat. I've seen so many. Anyway, we stayed in the same place for a while, and you know, you've got to imagine there's a lot of white water rushing around it as well, and there's water. You know, the sea is rough. But we're looking down from the cliff face, sort of. We're looking down onto it. A boat came out from Turkey. There wasn't many fishing boats out there at all this morning because it was so rough. But this small white boat came out, and it seemed to went round the boat, and then it stopped. Then it went round it again, and then there was like a mass of white water. I mean, there is white water everywhere, but there's like a massive bit in this area of white water. And this boat then, about a minute later, just shot off. And I couldn't see it was gone. You know, it's just gone. I couldn't see anyone in the water, but they were about 1.5 kilometres out from shore, and I kept focusing in for about 20 minutes. You know, I'm so far away. I could see the size of the boat when the boats are about 4 or 5 metres long. You could see that, and I could see all the life jackets in the line. You should get that one colour of red or blue. But after this small boat ran, there's no way he could have picked him up. He was only there for a couple of minutes, and this boat would have been full of women, children, 60, 70 maybe. And God, you know, what the fuck do you do? A hard one, a very hard one. I kept looking at it and kept looking at it, but there's nothing. There was nothing. All I could see was just small waves, and whether any got to, I can't see them getting to shore because the wind was north. It would be pushing further and further out into deep water, into the middle. I don't know. I really don't know on this one. You know, I know I'm really pissed off with politicians and fucking bankers and people like this that don't do nothing. You know, we got no help here at all. I just, God, you know, I'm helping these people from day to day. And to know this, I know what's, you know, deep down I know what happened there. Just anyway, I went and got my wife and we went round and helped the third boat that came in, and there's a lot of children there. My wife was drying them down and putting dry clothes on them, and I was doing a little boy and that, and getting him some dry clothes. And we had no food this morning. You know, there's a bit of a problem going on here, and I had no food in the car. Well, I had what I had in my cupboard. I had a few biscuits and a bit of fruit. You know, which it helped. It helped. You know, when they come in, they're shocked, especially when they come in a rough sea like that, and just to sit the children down and give them a biscuit, or, you know, give them something, a little croissant or something, it does help them, and it relaxes them. And some of these people ain't ate for 3 or 4 days, and through reasons beyond my control this morning, I had no food in the car, only what I got out of my cupboard. Anyway, from there we went round to where the first boats come in to see, because I was told the men still sitting on the rocks and that out there, and I had water. I had plenty of water this morning. I've got this thing that a guy's arranged with me at the local shop to pick up water, so I had plenty of water. So we got the children their pampers and stuff like that, and we took we got the people on the third boat. We done the best we can for them, and we put them on their way, and we ran round to where the first and second boat came in. There were still men there. I gave them all water and that, and they didn't know about the fourth boat. They said, you know, it's all confusing. They don't speak much English, but they said their 2 boats come in, and their 2 boats are black. They're big black dinghies. The other 3 boats were white dinghies, and I looked on the beach and there was no white dinghy there at all, so it couldn't have came in there, so it must have gone further round. And if it went further round, it's really rough around there for a long way, and they didn't look too healthy, the fourth boat. Anyway, we gave all the lads their water and everything else, and we told them, some of them were trying to go over the cliff top, and I said, look, come back down. I brought them down, and I showed them where the pathway was, and told them to walk into Mollywoss. So that's that one. I'm sorry this is a long one, but it's been one of those mornings. Bear with me, please. Right, other things that went on yesterday. A lot's gone on. I've got threats again as normal. You know, it's amazing. You're trying to help people and everything else, and then you got these people threatening you. Unbelievable. Right, the tourists are still picking up people all over the island, risking arrest. We're still getting abuse from the top and these places for doing this. One reporter took a lady in a wheelchair. I met her in the morning, and he helped her. It was the boat that the Greek guy swam out. Fair play to this Greek guy. He swam out, and he really saved all these people. He deserved a medal. And he got a rope on it, and he swam back in, pulling the boat in with him. And what a man, you know, what a man. Anyway, there was a woman on a wheelchair in the boat who'd been shot in the back, and one of the reporters, at this time, I left it there because I know the guy from the hotel. He's very good, and I know this lot would have been looked after, but the reporter stayed with another reporter, and we shot off to feed some people in Mollywoss. But this reporter helped her get off the boat and everything else, and anyway, in the afternoon, he took her in his hire car down to Mytilene with another man that couldn't walk, a pregnant lady, and he took them all the way down to the port from Mollywoss to Mytilene. When he took him out of the car, he got a lot of abuse from a guy in the port, one of the authorities, and told him that he's not allowed to do it. He got told off and everything else, and you know, who can tell that when, you know, you could see the woman's in a wheelchair, and another man, he's had to drag out the car because he can't walk, and laid him on the floor, and then they come out and start shouting at him for putting him in the car and trying to help him. You know, oh God, there's something terribly fucking wrong here. Really fucking wrong here. Yeah. Anyway, the woman was Somalian, and there were Somalian guys in the port. They come running out through the gate you know, where they're locked in. They come out because they come around and they're all hugging the reporter, thanking him for bringing their sister back. You know, they call each other brothers and sisters. And I think the reporter filled up himself. Anyway, later on I spoke to him. I said, "You okay?" He said, "Yeah, he's in the airport and he's getting out. He's flying out." Right. There was a lady who has a very small sandwich bar. She let some family sleep there, and she gave the mother her own pushchair for her pushchair that she had for her child. She gave one of the mothers a pushchair so the baby could sleep in it, and she said she could keep the pushchair. And she let all these families sleep in her little sandwich bar overnight and everything else. Oh, this woman, God, Jesus, what a saint. Anyway, in the morning she insisted on feeding them, and she wouldn't take any money, and she fed all the families and got them on their way, you know. A really nice woman. If I can put any business her way in the future, I guarantee I'm going to tell people where to go and eat. Right, I mean, that's about it, I'm afraid. Sorry about this one. It has been a nasty one. It's been very emotional for me and my wife and a couple of reporters here. One of the reporters, Nicole's still here. It's been very emotional for him. And Michael was up there on the cliff with me this morning, and you know, and Michael was sort of saying, well, maybe this and maybe that, thinking the best, but it's quite obvious what happened. You know, and it's very emotional and very hard for the people getting involved in this. And as I keep saying, you know, we need bloody hand here. You know, you just can't have a few people dealing with all this here. And we keep shouting and God, nothing's happening. I know it's getting around the world now, and maybe something will happen. But something has got to be happening about these people that are being so horrible and nasty. I spoke to a Greek reporter this morning, and I said, what is it with these people? Why are they being so horrible and nasty? Why? And he said it's been indoctrinated into these type of people for years. He said you've got a majority of the population have big hearts, and then you have this right wing that have been told that refugees are disgusting, they're horrible. And he said they don't call them refugees, they call them immigrants. And they steal and they rape and they rob and everything else. And this is the biggest load of bullshit I ever heard. The authorities here must sort this one out. If they want to keep tourism, they must sort this one out. I spoke to some Dutch tourists, and they said to me this morning there's Dutch flights being cancelled as well now. So, God, I really applaud people to come here. Please come to Greece. It's not on. It's only a little percentage of Greece that has this problem. The rest of Greece is free from any of this. This problem here, many people are coming here to help, and the people are here, it's not a problem. The people that came out of the hotel yesterday, they were all pleased, and they're all talking about it all day, how they helped the little boy or the little girl, and it really made a day of their holiday, you know, and they all said they were so pleased to help, you know, and do something. Even though they all knew they could be arrests, you know, because it's criminal to speak to. These laws have got to change. All right, sorry it's another long one, but it's been an emotional day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.